You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borg. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, 16th day of March, 2023. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. We do 2 live broadcasts every trading day. The first live broadcast is from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. That is our live training room, and that is reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. If you've not yet taken your 1-week free trial, you can do so by going to mytradingiq.com and just click the button at the top of the page, and your free trial will begin. You can join any day of the week. You're going to get 5 consecutive trading days with full access to everything that we offer. Now, once the live trading room ends at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, we take a 30-minute break, and then we come back at 12 noon Eastern for the afternoon broadcast, which is open to the public. That's anybody, anywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. There are 2 different ways to join this afternoon broadcast. Best way, just go to mytradingiq.com, scroll down to where it says afternoon broadcast. Click the link, fill out the 30-second registration form, and you're done. Every trading day going forward, you'll get an email about an hour before the afternoon broadcast starts. And in that email, there's a link. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. Now, doing it that way gives you access to the question box so that you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Of course, there will be days you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you still want to join the afternoon broadcast live. Simply point your browser to our YouTube channel, which is easy to remember. You already know youtube.com/CFRN. It's that simple. youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every day, every trading day on our YouTube channel, but we also archive every episode. Currently, there's over 2,200 daily live broadcasts archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. Also, if you're new to the world of CFRN, it's a great way to get to know who we really are, what we do, how we do it, even why we do it. You can, of course, listen to today's broadcast live, but you can scroll back 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, 2 years, even more. Pick days at random. Just listen in for a little bit. What you'll find is a thread of connectivity, a thread of continuity woven through each and every daily broadcast. So it's a great way to get to know us. With that said, we'll open with a word of prayer, as we do. Now, for the last week, we've been talking about the promise of forgiveness, because Easter is around the corner, and that's really what Easter is, the promise of forgiveness. Our scripture today, Colossians chapter 4, verses 2 through 6. And I'm reading from the Message translation. Pray diligently. Stay alert with your eyes wide open in gratitude. Don't forget to pray for us that God will open doors for telling the mystery of Christ, even while I'm locked up in this jail. Pray that every time I open my mouth, I'll be able to make Christ plain as day to them. Use your heads as you live and work among outsiders. Don't miss a trick. Make the most of every opportunity. Be gracious in your speech. The goal is to bring out the best in others in a conversation, not put them down, not cut them out. Of course, this is one of the letters that Paul wrote while he was imprisoned. Let your conversation be gracious and attractive. Again, that was Colossians 4. Let me tell you a story. Early in Claire's role as an executive editor, a serious typesetting error slipped by him and went into print. He was depressed about the mistake and even avoided his colleagues at coffee breaks for a couple days. But one afternoon, he looked up from his desk to see the president of the company standing next to him. The man gripped Claire's shoulder and said, "Don't take it so hard. Just remember, we're not in heaven yet." Claire always remembered that kind word of grace given to him at a difficult time. While he was sometimes tempted to dwell on mistakes he made, he realized he could also learn from them. But he knew as well that he needed to pass on that same kind of grace to other people. Extending grace to someone is often an unexpected gift that can lift a heaviness of the heart. It's an offshoot of the incredible grace that God has given us. We deserved to be eternally separated from God because of our sin, but instead, He gave us a gift that was completely undeserved. His Son, Jesus, who was Himself full of grace and truth, John 1:14. The grace giver transformed Good Friday's sorrow into Easter's joy. It's not always easy, but our hearts should continually be gracious, even toward those who seem undeserving. As generous grace givers, we can point others to the true source of grace. Pray with me. Heavenly Father, forgive us all for our reluctance to give grace to others. Help us to show grace and generosity to those who are hurting. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, Amen. Well, happy Thursday. I hope it's a happy Thursday for you, whoever you are, wherever you are. Lots going on in the world. Some really volatile markets. Dangerous trading. If you've had trouble trading this week, don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes the best position is no position. All right, here's the numbers from around the world. starting here in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. The Dow is currently up 102 points. The NASDAQ is up 175, which is 1.5%. The S&P 500 is up 35, almost 1%. And the Russell 2000, our men in the street, up 21 points, 1.25%. In the commodity basket, crude oil up 31 cents, trading 67.92 last. Gold down $8.50, trading 19.22 last. Silver down 23 cents, trading 21.65 last. That's a drop of a little over 1%. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei down 218 points, almost 1%. Shanghai down 36 points, a little over 1%. The Hang Seng down 335 points, 1.75%. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE up 81%. The DAX up 267, almost 2%. The CAC up 170 points, 2.5%. So that gave us a red day in Asia. It was a green day for the UK. And it is now a green Radio Thursday here in the US of A. Michael will join us roughly at 12:40 p.m. Eastern. He'll give us a recap of everything that happened in the live training room this morning. And then we will once again attempt to do a live stream on the TradingView platform beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you're listening to this after the fact and you want to cut straight to the TradingView session, just fast forward on our YouTube channel to the 1 hour mark. Okay? All right. Well, let's go. Logic 247. Now, this recap is valid through 10 p.m. last night. I didn't see a recap from Valerie this morning. Since the markets opened Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, we've issued just 24 alerts. One never triggered. As of 10 p.m., we were still waiting on 2. 21 actionable alerts, of which, surprisingly, nothing so far this week has been stopped out, based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, based on market structure and a very simple 3-step process that we teach all of our passport holders in their unlimited one-on-one mentoring sessions. We're in week 241. Over those 241 weeks, we've issued over 13,600 individual handcrafted alerts. And we've averaged 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on the risk profile I just explained. Now, the logic alerts are based on current price action, but there's always time built into the alert for you to be able to receive the alert, study it, go to your 30-minute chart, see the window of opportunity that it represents so that you'll be ready to execute on your smaller time frame when price reaches the entry point on the alert. Whether it's a long or a short, what you learn every morning in the live training room, that's what you use when an alert triggers. Now, we also still have our original alert service, concierge trade alerts. And they're a little bit different in a couple different ways. Number one, they don't come out around the clock. They are posted shortly after the Globex open every evening. Globex opens at 6 p.m. Last night, the report was published for members and trial members at 6:25 p.m. Eastern. Now, this broadcast is open to the public. So if you're not a member or a trial member, you didn't have these numbers last night at 6:25 p.m. So if you want to grab a screenshot, feel free to do so, because we'll walk through briefly each one of these charts. So what is it you do with the numbers when the report comes out? It's pretty simple. We'll use the ES as an example. The first thing you want to do is make note of where price is at this time. Note that on your 30-minute chart. Then draw a line in the sand, in this case at 39.47, and a line in the sand at 38.84. Those serve as visual cues, so you're able to easily tell if the market is trending up or trending down. If price gets above the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the long target. If price is below the 30-minute BBC, it is attempting to reach the short target. It's kind of that simple. You always have to look left to spot potential obstacles, support or resistance, whether you're trading long or short. And over time, you'll learn how price behaves at a weekly trading zone. Keep in mind, price is always trying to reach a weekly zone. From the moment the markets open Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern until they close Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. Price is above the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to get to the weekly zone overhead. If price is below the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to get to the zone below. We've published the zones since December 14th of 2009. So we've got many, many years of data that shows us exactly how price behaves around a weekly trading zone. One of three things happens. 70% of the time, you'll see consolidation. 20% of the time, rejection. And about 10% of the time, the slice. That's when price slices through a zone like it's not even there. Under normal market conditions, when that happens, when that slice runs out of steam, price will typically retrace back to the zone it sliced through and then continue in the direction of the slice, whether it's sliced up or sliced down. Resist the urge to make any of this more complicated than that. As long as you know which way the wind is blowing, it makes it pretty simple to reach your goal for the day. Trading's not easy, but it can be simple. However, when market conditions are as erratic as they have been these last few weeks, sometimes, again, the best position is no position. So keep that in mind. Now, the CTAs are based on historic price action, whereas the logic alerts are based on current price action. And when historic price action meets current price action, that is where you'll find some of your best high probability, low risk trade opportunities. So let's have a look at the daily chart, get the big picture view of what's going on. Back here, we talked about the potential. We started talking about the potential for a big move to the downside. So we've had a leg, a retracement, a leg, and a retracement. That's how markets work. As you can see, the pullback to the BBC holds more often than it doesn't. You got a leg and a retracement, 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 and then a leg that failed to put in a higher high. Blue and climbing turned to red and falling, and we got below the BBC. Now, BBC simply stands for bull bear cross. When price crosses above the BBC, we're bullish. We anticipate higher prices. When price crosses below, we're bearish. We anticipate lower prices. But even in a up leg and a downtrend, you'll still have retracements. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg. Until nobody is willing to spend 1 penny more above this high right here, the high of this candle, 42.44. And when buyers are unwilling to pay 1 tick more, they hit the pause button. I'm talking institutional buyers. And then those institutions that specialize in shorting the market, they will come out of the woodwork and do their best to drive price down. But we hit the BBC, we bounced. Now we're back below the BBC. We've already had 1 pullback. And then we came down to the 50% fib retracement. Now these fibs are based on the low of October 13th. We've been in a downtrend almost a year. But the low of the downtrend came October 13th. And then the most recent swing high came in February 2nd. So drawing the fibs from the October 13th low to the February 2nd high gives us the 50% fib retracement right here. And that's what price has been dealing with for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions. As you can see, when we opened last night, price came down to test the 50 once again. Once again, it held as support. On this day, this was a wide-ranging day, we almost reached down to the 62% fib retracement. We didn't quite make it all the way. Fibs are an area. Yes, they print an exact price point on your chart, but it still represents an area, and it's real important to understand that. The same is true with weekly trading zones. Sometimes price will turn on a dime right at a zone. Sometimes it'll come a little bit shy. Sometimes it'll overshoot it a little bit. That's why you're using a 30-minute chart to find your windows of opportunity so that you don't jump the gun. So what's happening today? We've got a green candle. We had a big red candle yesterday, all the way down. But we closed well off the low of the day. We opened last night, had lower, and now institutional buyers are driving price higher. We're approaching the 38% fib retracement, which on the way down served as good support, but as we push up, could become good resistance. If we get through the 38, then we look for resistance at the daily BBC. Keep in mind that it's institutional trading that moves price. Institutions have accounts denominated in hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. The typical retail trader has an account denominated in thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. So no matter what market you trade, it could be the S&P, it could be crude, gold, silver, it could be individual stocks, it could be cryptocurrencies, even Forex. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames, from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. It's a never-ending cycle. Now that's been in place since the inception of the markets, and it will remain in place until the markets cease to exist. That's simply how the markets work. So institutional buyers are buying. They're well aware of the 38% fib retracement overhead. Now the question some people have is, well, do fibs really work, or is it just a self-fulfilling prophecy because people expect certain things to happen at a fib? You know, number one, fibs are a very real thing. They're in our DNA. They're in a flower. They're in a pretty woman's face. The golden ratio, 14th century math, not proprietary, not the latest thing to come down the pike. I only use fibs on the larger time frames because often on the smaller time frames, for me, it just generates noise. But if fibs work for you on smaller time frames, by all means, use whatever works best for you and helps you to be consistent in your trading. Now, again, we've got potential resistance at the 38, then the BBC, then the 24% fib retracement. Support is at the 50% fib retracement, the low of today, the low of yesterday, and then the low of March 13th. The vertical line here on the 30-minute chart separates today, Thursday, from yesterday, Wednesday. Now we can see that price spent a lot of time yesterday consolidating at the weekly zone. Then we dropped to the zone below, which is 3863/64. And the low of this candle was 65. That's what I mean about fibs and weekly zones being an area. We missed actually touching the zone by 1 point. But keep in mind, these weekly zones were published for our members and trial members Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Once the zones are published for the week, they're carved in stone. They don't change in any way whatsoever. When price rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance. When price drops to a zone, we expect support. So we opened last night, and over the course of a few hours, we ran up and hit the long target. Then blue and climbing turned to red and falling, which represents resistance. So that took price back below the BBC, where we found support and consolidated. Remember, that's what's going to happen about 70% of the time at a zone, consolidation. 20% of the time, rejection. 10% of the time, the slice. So we hit the target on the long side. We pulled back to the weekly trading zone below. The support right here is related to this bullish cross right here. We pulled back up from that support area to find resistance at the BBC. The pullback holds more often than not, but we know eventually price will trade through the BBC. That's what keeps the markets fluid and tradable. Once price got back above the BBC, it made a run again at the long target at 39.47. We've now traded above the weekly zone. We initially got resistance at the zone. We overcame it with this candle. Price will most likely retrace back to the zone it sliced through. But important to note, we have taken out the high that was put in on Tuesday. So we have a new high on the week. On the Dow. Here's where the market opened last night. It attempted to move higher. It did not make it to the zone. Blue and climbing turned to red and falling, which took us down to the zone where we caught a bounce, down to the zone where we caught a bounce, the pullback held. And then we had to drop right to 31,800. That random line, short target. And then on the move up, once we got back above the BBC, We came within a few ticks, it looks like, of hitting the long target. And we may not be done. We could find support on a pullback at the step line, continue higher, or at blue and climbing, or at the BBC. Right now, the thing to do is nothing. You got to wait for price to get above this area here. You see this high ties right into this bearish cross. When a bearish cross leads to an extended move, and you'll see where market found support, resistance, support, exactly, over and over, again and again. And it's that bearish cross that kept us from actually touching that target. Now, if we trade higher, if we take out the high of the day, get above the long target, you got to look left at potential obstacles in your path. But there is plenty of room from the target once traded above. It means we've traded above this bearish cross. There's room to get your goal for the day. And then if we take out these highs, then there's room up to the next zone. Market's got real bullish at 10:30 Eastern this morning. Okay, we were up, we were down, we were up again. These are not normal trading conditions. But if you've been trading for any length of time, you already know that. On a Russell, we opened, pulled back to the BBC, the pullback held. We attempted higher and failed. We got below the BBC. We traded down to the short target. Now we're back above the BBC. We're pulling back. But there's every good possibility, as long as buyers stay committed, institutional buyers, that we could see the long target as well. On the NQ, here's where the market opened. It attempted higher, but as blue and climbing gets directly above price, it becomes potential resistance, because that tells us that it's most likely on its way to becoming red and falling, which we know is resistance. And so that took us down to the zone at 12,337/38. Spiked it a little bit, got back above the BBC, hit the long target. We're halfway to the zone overhead. So once this pullback completes, when the market finds support, there may be a very nice window of opportunity here to the upside. So keep an eye. When you see this, price, the step line, blue and climbing, and then the BBC, that is a very strong momentum type move. Okay. Now, this was a pretty quick move. But if you see the step line starting to hook right, crossing the BBC, it's going to take a while, or blue and climbing, it'll take it a while to catch up. That's an indication price is going to attempt to pull back to the BBC. That's true across all markets, all time frames, individual stocks, crypto, forex. Everything we teach, all the tools we provide, are fluid across all markets and all time frames. Crude oil. Can hardly give it away. Market opened and down we went to the short target at 65.90. Caught a bounce. We're above the BBC right now. And we have blue and climbing. We would want to see price get above this high right here. And then we've got a nice window of opportunity up to this high. If price gets through that high, we could see the long target. Now that's not a forecast, simply an observation. And keep in mind, right here, you've got a bearish cross, which represents potential resistance. On gold. Market open, Came right down to the short target at 1914. We got above the BVC, we put in a leg and a retracement. This retracement did not hold. This one did, but this one didn't. Now we're below the BVC with red and falling overhead. So we need to see price pull up, find resistance, and then we'll look for continued moves to the downside as long as price stays below 30-minute BVC. When we're above the 30-minute BVC, we anticipate higher prices, but once price gets below it, we're looking at lower prices. Okay. On silver, price came down. We opened. We pulled up to the BVC. The pullback held, and it held, and then we got above. We attempted to run higher. But we're above the highest weekly trading zone. This is the highest weekly trading zone right here for the week on silver. But it looks like by close of business on Friday, tomorrow, we'll be back below the highest weekly zone. We've gotten below the BVC, got red and falling overhead, so we anticipate lower prices, which could send us back down to the short target again and down to the weekly trading zone. And on the euro. Euro did a whole lot of sideways nothing. Zone, tempted the zone higher, dropped to the zone below, spiked it, found some support, got back above the BVC, and so now we have to anticipate a potential move higher until price gets below the BVC and below blue and climbing. If price gets below blue and climbing, and it's going to turn it back to red and falling. So remember, whatever market you trade, whatever individual stock, crypto, forex pair, spend a couple minutes with the daily chart when you begin your trading session so you know that the institutions are buying or selling. This green candle tells us last night they were selling, but found support at the 50% fib retracement. Institutions are watching daily, weekly, and monthly charts the same way you and I watch 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. So it is now 12:40. So Michael should be showing up in a moment. Michael, are you there? Okay. He's on his way. So stand by. I'm going to put you on hold for just a second. I think you might be having trouble logging in. Hang on one second. And at 1 p.m. Eastern, that's when we'll start the live TradingView stream. And hopefully it's a little more cooperative today than it was yesterday. So I'm put you on hold for a second. I'll be right back. There he is, man of the hour.
Here I am. Here I am. I am here.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Chart,
I'm sorry. Did I just
look
take
good.
the charts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, looks good.
Oh, wow. All right. Sorry. Was it time to take the charts?
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, we were just waiting on you.
Okay. All right. Well, here it is then.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday. Partners meeting tonight, 8 p.m. The 16th day of March 2023. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go here to mytradingiq.com. Click on this and you'll be brought to a form to do a simple sign up. And once you do that, you'll be sent all the information you need to get into the room for 5 consecutive glorious business days. Now, if you do sign up for the trial, you should go in here and download the trading platform, one of the trading platforms, right? We have DT Pro, NinjaTrader, and TradingView. And TradingView is what you're going to see mostly right now. You probably see some DT Pro too. And that is where we have the latest and greatest stuff right now that I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. All right. Now today in the room, we had a rough start today. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all CFTC risk disclosures in at the bottom. We did have a rough start today. We started out, we were negative on pretty much everything to start out with, except gold. We were negative on the YM, we were negative on the ES, and we stayed above water on gold the whole time. We never did stop out on gold, but we stopped out on the YM twice. We stopped out on the ES at least twice. And we didn't trade the NQ until like the last half hour, but we did have some really good trades on the NQ in that last half hour. Now, today, as I said, is the 16th day of March, 2023. Made 136 ticks on the NQ. Half of that was in one trade. 12 ticks on the YM, 0 ticks on crude, 25 ticks on the ES, and 4 ticks. I'm sorry, 25 ticks on gold and 4 ticks on the ES. That put us at 1,040 on the morning session. Today it took 12 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. That we're up $300, and we took a total of 29 trades. So on the month now we're at $9,820. That's over 12 trading days, averaging $818 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Now, as you go back and look at the last couple of months, we're at 818 so far this month after 12 days. And last month we were at 340 at the end of the month. In January, 416. So what has changed? Well, the thing that's changed, we've added the NASDAQ for one thing. There's a lot of money in the NASDAQ, $6,600 in the NASDAQ so far compared to all these other ones. This was NASDAQ and YM mixed until just a couple days ago. But we added that and we added the arrows. So there's a lot more trades happening, a lot more opportunity, and just a good time to be trading overall. Anyway, so today it took 12 minutes and 2 trades to get to there, and on the month we're at $9,820, averaging $818 per contract per 2-hour business day. On the year we're at 24,620, so 51 business days, averaging $482 per contract per 2-hour business day. And if you were to quit trading when you get your goal for the day and add 1 contract per month, so far I've worked 12.38 hours getting the goal and averaged $965 an hour for those 12.38 hours. Now, that's really where you want to be. You don't want to be trading all day long. You just want to get in there, make your money, and be done. Okay, that's where I think most everybody wants to be. I mean, you can trade all day long if you want to, if you choose to, but you don't want to have to. All right, so we'll start out with the gold. Today in gold, let's go back here. I was having some issues this morning. The arrow thing had messed up on me somehow last night. I must have done something in my sleep or somehow to mess up the arrow thing, and so it wasn't working for me for the first half hour or so. And then Paul finally figured it out and showed me what I was doing wrong. That's why this arrow is a little tiny one like that. Anyway, that was our first trade on gold, was right there. On that trade, we picked up 7 ticks. Okay, and there were some more trades going off in here in gold, but I didn't do another one until all the way over here. On that one, I picked up 14 ticks to get me to 21, and then I had a break even right there. And then I had a couple of ticks on that one to get me to 23. And a break even, and then a couple more ticks to get me to 25, and that was where I ended it with gold. Now, gold was pretty good, a really good market today as far as doing what you anticipated out of it almost all the time. When you got the arrows, most of the arrows went, most everything went in the direction it should go as soon as you got the arrow. Enough to get the stop to break even on pretty much all the trades. On pretty much all the trades, it went enough to get the stop to break even. This was the closest one, I think, right there. Everything else was pretty close. I got to break even on that. I guess that was probably the closest one to not getting anything. Yeah, I missed that one, but that was it. Oh. Anyway, gold was a really well-behaved market today, it seemed like. We ended up with plus 25 ticks on gold this morning. Now, the Dow, I'm going to do this. Control back, because the Dow had a lot of bars in here. So I'm going to scroll all the way back here. Look at all those things. I'm so thankful that I was taught this little trick, because this would have taken forever to do. All right, so on the Dow, it looks like we didn't do anything here in the first few minutes. Okay, didn't do anything in the first few minutes. There were some decent trades in there. You can see all the arrows in here that were good, decent trades. And I didn't do anything until all the way over here. My first trade on the Dow was right here, and I stopped out at minus 15 on that. I'm using the 10 tick range on the Dow with a 15 tick stop, so it was minus 15 on that. And I'm bumping the stop to break even after 6 ticks in profit. Okay. And I ended up with the break even on this trade right here. And then the next trade that I did, it wasn't for a little while, was right here. I made 25 ticks on that. I got into plus 10. Then I stopped out again, got me back down to minus 5. You see there were trades in here. I just didn't get them all. Right here got really flat. The long-term direction got flat. That's why I didn't do anything through there. Again, it got flat. No more trading. It started to pick up in here, but I clearly was not paying attention to it for some reason. I think that was when I was doing the trading all through there. I ended up with a break even when I started trading again. Then right here, I went from minus 5 to plus 12. So I had a 17 tick trade right there, it looks like. And oops, I'll put that back. And as we get a little further along here, it's now 12:50. I have 10 minutes to do the rest of the markets. Excuse me. As we get a little further along here, there were plenty of trades that were triggering. I just was not getting any of them. I think I was focused on the other markets at that time. Right here is when I started trading the NQ, and between the ES and the NQ, I was doing all I could to place the trades that I was placing. It looks like I didn't do anything else here with the YM. There were some really nice trades in here on the YM. There's some of these things here and here and here. Some really nice looking trades in there on the YM. And that was it for the morning session for me. During the break, look at this. During the break, it was all this garbage right here. I don't know what happened, but not a lot of real good trading. All through here, there was some pretty good stuff right up until the very end right there. Remember, if you get into a trade like this one that would have stopped you out and it does not put in a higher swing, then do not do the trade after it. Okay? But you can. Sometimes it's going to work, like this one right here. This worked out, and then it didn't put in a lower swing. So, I would have been skeptical about taking either one of those when that didn't put in a lower swing. And also, you're not looking to trade 100 times. You're looking to trade enough to get your goal and then quit trading. And so you can see there were a bunch more trades in here on the YM during the break. And look, a gap up right here. I don't know what was going on. There were gaps like that quite a bit today. Though that could have been when it just restarted on me when I logged on. Anyway, on the YM, we ended up with just plus 12 ticks. Okay, plus 12 ticks on the YM. Let me slide this over here on the gold. Plus 12 on the YM. And now the ES. We had a bunch of ES trades today. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to do this and this. Get that. ES didn't have near as many bars as the YM did, but we did have a bunch more trades. Okay, so in the pre-market, I thought I took one on the ES in the pre-market, but I think that wasn't on the. Yeah, it was. I took one trade for 4 ticks. It was in the pre-market. I took one trade for 4 ticks. I don't think that arrow was in the right place, but as I said, my arrows were all messed up. This one right here, I picked up 3 ticks on this move right here, somewhere in here. I picked up 3 ticks, and that's what got me the goal for the day. I had 3 contracts on, and I was trying to get my goal for the day with 3 contracts on. Okay, so at that point, we were on the ES. We started out with a plus 4, and then I stopped out and I have it that it put me down to -7 after the stop out, so I must have had some slippage on that. And then from -7, I stopped out again and went to -17. And then I had a small win, got me to -14. Then an 8-tick win got me to -6. Then a 4-tick got me to -2. And then I had something in here that I'm missing that got me to +6. And then I stopped out again. And that got me to -4. So something in here got me to +6. And yeah, must have been a small one here that got me from -6 to +2, and then I got from -2 to +6. So this was an 8-tick win right here, probably. And then I stopped out. That got me back down to -4. Then, as you go further in, I had a break even. Some really nice trades in there, but I was not actually trading at that point. I think, or at least I wasn't trading this. Then I had from -4, we went to +6. So I must add a 10-tick gain right there. And then, no, I'm sorry, I went from -4, I went to +2, so that was a 6-tick gain right there. And then I had one more small one right here, +2. That got me to +4 altogether on the ES. So I had, a bunch of stop outs on the ES. I didn't make a lot of mistakes today with it, like I did yesterday. It was just tough trading in the beginning. But I stuck in there and persevered. There were many trades today that were like this one right here, where you get the bounce off the ribbon. That's still a valid trade when the black line is in the green. You're not going to get an arrow if this is not oversold or coming out of the oversold area. And that was followed up by the arrow right after. So a lot of times we were getting those trades off of the ribbon that were followed up by the trade with the arrow. Those are still really good trades. The fact that it's followed up by the trade with the arrow, like this one right here, it's just more convincing when you get the trade in there. There wasn't a lot that happened here during the break today. A few trades in there, some pretty nice ones. If you get into this one and you didn't stop out, that looks like it would have stopped you out right there. But if you got in right here, then it would have been a decent trade. And if you didn't take a break even or take some profit, then you would have benefited from this huge gap right here. That would have been a nice thing to have. I found myself, I was in a couple of trades today that benefited from the gap, but then they gapped right back down. And before I could move my stop up and take advantage of it, it was pulling right back down. I was talking with one of our partners yesterday in a meeting, and he was saying, he puts an 8-point target on the NQ anyway. So if it goes crazy like that, like something like this in here, he's going to get 8 points out of it anyway, if he can't move stuff fast enough with his DOM. Now the NQ, I'm definitely going to have to do this, but on the NQ, we didn't trade for the first hour anyway. So I'll just start here at 10:30, I guess, right? Because I wasn't really trading at 10:30 either. But I'll just start here at 10:30 and go through the NQ because it's 12:56 and it's going to take a long time as it is. All right. So in here, I don't see any questions coming in here right now. So I'm going to remind everyone that if you want to see the live stream, if you want to jump in on the live stream, just go here, then go to TradingView and go to Community, Live Streams, and ours would be down here at the bottom. Upcoming streams is the category. Okay, these are recent streams. Upcoming streams is where we're going to be right down here. Right here is ours. Okay. Speaking of that, I'm not ready for that over here. I'm missing monitor, so I need to do that as well. Okay, so back here to the new charts. Now you can see that there are a bunch of arrows that were given decent trades, but it was the NQ, and I didn't want to trade it early on because the DOM on the NQ was, well, I'll show you what the DOM looks like right now. Okay, this is what the DOM looks like right now on the NQ. And you see these numbers down here? There was nothing in the 50s. They were down in teens and 20s. And when it's that thin, it's trading that thin, you got a big spread in between them. It's tough to get in there and get any kind of a decent fill without a whole bunch of slippage and do anything. That's why today, my entries, I couldn't go by what the entry should have been based on the chart. I had to go by what the entry actually was in the DOM. And then I was trying to do the math after it got the entry. I was trying to do everything and get it all together. Fortunately, you can put the bracket on for the stop to begin with. So wherever you get in, the stop is in place. But there was one time where I started to run on that 70-something tick trade. It started to run, and I was putting in, every time it moved up like 10 ticks, I'd put in another order, and I put in another order. And at one point, I had 5 orders outstanding that were all orders that were going to clear me. So if it turned around and came back down really fast, it would have put me short like 4 contracts instead of being flat, the one that I was long. And so I had to cancel all and then trail it up again. And then when I did that, I lost like, it was like 6 points. It seemed like it came off the top right away. But anyway, the NQ was really, really fast. And, for the most part, I didn't trade it, just like the last half hour or so, I think. But you can see in here, the arrows were triggering really well in here and giving you trades. And even if you didn't have the arrow, like right here, it was because it wasn't overbought. You didn't get the arrow right in there. It still gave you a good opportunity on the downside. Everything turned around, and right here was one of those ones. Actually, it wasn't because the black was on the green. But right here, you got the arrow. Nice one. This would have stopped you out. This would have made it back, but I wouldn't have done either of these. I would have waited until this one and gotten it back on that one. Then it was all flat with no arrows or anything for a little while. I would have wanted to wait until it got long over here like this. And I believe I actually did wait until it went through all of this. And in here was my first trade on the NQ. My first trade on the NQ was right there. Picked up 24 ticks on that. I got a break even on that one. Break even on that one. And yeah, there's some missing in here. Okay, so one of these, this one I think was my big trade that I got 70-something ticks on. This was a break even and a break even, and there's some trades missing in here because the way it went with the NQ. My first trade was 24 ticks. The next trade was 12. And then the next trade was 74. And then the next trade was 24, I think, or 28. 28 was the next. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 that actually gained something and a couple of break evens. I don't know why I don't have the arrow showing the other ones that I had in here. But that was what our NQ was like today. It was just pretty wild and crazy. And I think this was that big trade that I got, that I picked up 70-something ticks, right? Went from 27 all the way up to almost 57. Yeah, because I was talking about it when it was at plus 20 points. I think I was talking about it then. And I remember seeing it go way up here, almost at plus 30. But anyway, that is what we did today on the NQ. Now, it is 1 o'clock, so I got to get the other thing going over here. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial there. If you have any questions about anything, email support at mytradingiq.com or support at cfrn.net, and we will get you going there as soon as possible. All right. We're going to start trading. Going to start the trading live here again right now in the live stream. So if you want to get into the live stream, I just showed you how to do that. For those are the people that are in the live stream, let me copy and paste this. And if you want to take a free trial, anybody in the live stream wants to take a free trial, then you just need to go to there. Okay, mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial there. All right, so our first trade in here on the live stream, and it's actually just triggering right now on the NQ. Here it is on the NQ. My stop is going to plus 12. That was plus 12 on that. Okay, and that was from right here. All right, that was a long trade off the ribbon. You didn't need the arrow for that one. All right, so that is the very first trade on the NQ is plus 12, and let's drop that right there. Okay. Let me draw this in here. Okay, and I'd like to see it with with any trade that you take. I want to see it put in a higher swing to continue the trend. Oops, sorry, I gotta fix that. Of course, the markets are always trying to do the same thing, right? They're always trying to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And if it stops going up, then we're not interested in what's going on inside here. Right? We want to see when it goes up and then comes back down, buy it here, sell it when it goes back up, right? That's what we're interested in. So, so we had the one trade so far on NQ, and Now we're going to wait until it puts in a higher swing to get something else. Don't have anything over here on the ES. The lead line has to get down to the oversold to give us anything over there. Right here, we did actually have one right here on the YM at the same time as the NQ. And the gold is actually triggering a trade over here too. The gold was from right here at 19.5 was the short there on gold. All right, 19.5. It's already gone 4 ticks into profit, so if you did not get into it, it's too late to get into it, but I would look for it to get down to 18.6. 18.6. Now, the DOM's not really, the DOM's supporting 18.5. The DOM is supporting 18.5, so I'll draw a line down there, all right? And for anybody that's listening, if you don't know what I mean when I say the DOM's supporting 18.5, take a free trial with us, and I'll be happy to show you. But that's what the DOM's supporting right now. All right. Back here, we did not put in a higher swing on the NQ. We did put in a higher swing on the ES, and I just missed another YM trade right here. You want to see that put in a higher swing as well. Okay, now the NQ got pretty close to putting in the higher swing, but not quite. You could take the trade here off the ribbon. This would be a ribbon trade right here. I'm not doing it. Okay. Yes, anybody in the live chat, or anybody anywhere really, in any of the live chats that we have going on right now, the 3 of them going on right now. If you have any questions, just type them in. If you want me to look at an equity or anything like that, just type in the symbol that you want me to look at, or a crypto or forex or anything like that. Just type in the symbol you want me to look at. Okay. The YM's got a trade here right now. Yeah, stop at break even, and there it goes. I'm gonna lock in well, 10 on the YM. And let's see where it goes. 20 on the YM. Okay, get rid of that. And it's 20 on YM. Okay. And the ES had a trade that I missed right here. The gold is, it didn't put in a lower swing here, but it's going to trigger a ribbon trade right here if we get a down close. All right, now that is not giving you an arrow because it's not overbought, but it is a ribbon trade because it hit the ribbon. Now, the thing that concerns me about this is you don't put in a lower swing. Right, you want to put that lower swing in. Over here on the NQ, we're about to get another trade on an up close. That will actually have an arrow. Now, the highest probability trades are the ones with an arrow off the ribbon. Okay, so get ready for that on the NQ. It's coming up here, I think. Here it is. Again, the highest probability trades are the ones with an arrow off the ribbon, like this one, like this one. This one here, not so much right now. It just stopped me out. I had a horrible entry, so it just stopped me out. Okay, so I was minus 15 ticks. I'm sorry, minus 20 ticks on that one. Let me draw that in. Okay, I didn't bring my DOM over because it happened so fast. I had a horrible entry, or it wouldn't have stopped me out. But it did, nonetheless. Okay, I'm sorry, it really did stop me out. I didn't bring the DOM over and show it to you because it happened so fast. But there is a chance to make it up right here. Okay. All right, so the YM's got another shot at it here too. And the gold ended up having nothing else over there because we wanted to see a lower swing. And we really want to see the NQ put in a higher swing here. I thought we were right below the high of the day on that, weren't we? Well, we're 87 something up here. This is the high of the day right here. All right, the YM's moving again, sorry. Stop to break even on that YM, stop to plus 10 on the YM, stop to plus 12 on the YM, and I'm flat with 12 more on the YM. Okay, so I didn't put in the last one I did on the YM either. Let me put that down. This was here, right? Now, let me do this, make this blue, and then put another one down there. That last trade, it's right in here. Okay, so we had a 20 and a 12 on the YM. And a 12 and a minus 20 on the NQ so far. Nothing on the S. We had this one trade here on the S, but that was the only one we had. Tesla, you want to look at Tesla? Okay, let's see a market that doesn't have a trade right now. Gold. Let's look at Tesla over here. Okay, now with Tesla, Ash, you're gonna want to look at this not on a 7 range, right? Tesla is priced in $100, so we'll look at on, say, a 50 or 100 range. And Tesla was, oops, hang on, let me get this thing back here and delete that. Tesla was bullish back here. You see you had the ribbon, you had the arrow off the ribbon right here, so it was a good time to get in right back there. Now it's got to pull back. This is on the 50 range, but this is, each one of these candles is 50 cents. Okay, each one of those candles is 50 cents on a 50 range. If I do it on a 100 range, each candle is $1. And it still gave a long from back here and a couple of longs from back here. That's what Tesla looks like right now. It's got to pull back before you're going to want to get into that again. In the bigger picture, let's see if I can give you any kind of a bigger picture on this. Okay, looking left. I'm going to go to a different time frame. Looking left. Yeah, okay. So looking left in the bigger picture, you're in kind of a loose spot here. The window of opportunity up here at 87.45. Right, 87.45. So I would look for it to probably get up to 87.45 from where it currently is. Okay. But the long that triggered on that was all the way from back here at 80. Okay, so I'll type that in. Back at 180. It's not just 80. Let me go down to the smaller time frame. Go back here to this. It was back here 180.70. 180.70. And what did I say to look for it to get to right now? The blue spot I said was up to here. Right up here, 187.61. Okay. All right, that's what Tesla looks like to me. Now, if we bump this back to gold, GC, do you have any other symbols? I suppose I should ask before I jump off of this. Blue spot is a window of opportunity. Yeah, window of opportunity. Right, that's what a blue spot is. Window of opportunity up to that level. Right, and on gold, we're going to do this back on the 7 range. And you can see we didn't miss anything there on gold. And all of these turned a little bit. You see the long-term direction is bearish here on the NQ right now. The long-term direction is changing on the YM and on the ES. So we don't have a trade on the YM and the ES. And the NQ did give a couple of trades right here that I did not do. Okay. If you guys, any of you guys that are in the live stream, if you want me to look at anything else, just give me a symbol and I'll go and look at it. Okay. We're already up on the session on this stuff right here. So we have now 19 minutes left in here. Now this is just barely bearish right here on the Dow. It's enough to trigger a couple arrows. So this is going to give you a down close, and if it pulls out right there, that's going to be a short on the Dow. I'm a little hesitant to take this short right here because I think overall it's going to go up, not down. It's a valid trade, so you know, put the trade on anyway, and I did, and I didn't move my stop to break even. I should have moved my stop to break even on that already. So if I get a chance to move to break even, I'm going to. Right, right there was my chance. Right there's my chance again, and I missed it again. Now I'm going to stop it out because I should do it twice. But I should have had my stop and break even on that to begin with. It should have been from up here at 40.59, not 56. But if I get the chance to do it again, I'm going to. Gotta go down just another tick or two, and I'm going to get out of break even if I can. It does look like it's going to run up from right here. Now, what I was saying here on the ES a few minutes ago about this being a pullback in the bigger picture, the bigger up move, that's what I think we're dealing with right here on the Dow as well. Now, we're holding on to it. I had a bad entry, and I did not move my stop to break even when I should have, so I made mistakes in this trade right here. If I stop out, it's my fault. But over here on the gold right now, we don't have anything happening here. The long-term direction is flat. And on the ES, long-term direction is starting to turn. It's still showing a little bit bullish right here, but it's starting to turn. And over here on the NQ, it is bearish, and it's hinting that it's going to turn to bullish if we get a move up right here. The NQ moving down could give us a little life in this YM trade here. We'll see. Now, none of these put in a lower swing, so we really need to put in a lower swing here. It's going to stop me out if it doesn't, so I have accepted the risk on the trade. All right, the NQ is starting to move down. It didn't put in the lower swing, so it might quit right here and move back up. You see how it bottomed out right here now 3 times, and it did stop me out on the YM, but it bottomed out right there 3 times in that. So that puts me down to 17. Okay, and let me put that on here. Okay, so that was back here. And I should have actually had my stop break even on that. So it's my fault that I ended up with the stop out on that. There we go. All right. So back here on the NQ, we don't really have any trade here right now. We don't have anything on the ES, and we don't have anything here on gold. Now, I don't know what Tesla actually did end up doing. I can go check it out again in a minute. It's 113 right now. So we'll have to just wait and see what we end up with here. It only takes 1 or 2 good trades to make the whole session. And the NQ is just about to give us one. If it pulls back and gets that up into the overbought, that would be an opportunity. And I gotta move that out of the way, and it may be an opportunity anyway here on the NQ. Okay, it did not move it up into the overbought. It did not give that opportunity. It's still not in the overbought. Watch these other things. This one stopped us out pretty much to the tick over here on the YM. The ES is flattening out. So everything right now, the NQ is the first one to give bearish separation. This is totally flat here on the YM, so I'm not going to trade anything in there right now. And it's flattening out here on the ES. Now the NQ is bearish. And I know this doesn't have an arrow because this didn't get overbought. But that is actually a trade setup right there. That's a trade setup off the ribbon. If the black stayed in the red like it did right there, that's a valid trade. I think that this is going to get into the overbought and then give us a trade, but maybe not. Maybe not. That's the second one off the ribbon right there. So the ribbon is holding, and here it goes. Here it goes, 65.50, well, all the way down there. That was 65.50 down to 60. So it's 5.5 points. It's 22 ticks, I guess, right? 14 here. Wow, look at that huge move. All right. So I trailed myself just a little too fast on that one. That should be a blue arrow. Now the ES dropped and the YM dropped. So the YM stopped us out pretty much to the tick over there, over here, and then made that big move down. Now everything is starting to head down. You see the long-term direction right here is bearish. Long-term direction here is bearish. Long-term direction here is bearish. This is overbought. This is not. This is not. So we could get an arrow on the YM. There it is on the YM. And so the YM's got an arrow for the short, and here it is. And the ES does not, and it's not going to. And the NQ does not, and it's not going to either. Okay, so all we have is a YM. We can lock in 2 on that and end up with just 2. I have a feeling I'm going to be sorry about that, but it is what it is. Yeah, I had a feeling we're going to get a big trade out of that YM. Okay, back here on the gold. Still nothing here on the gold, but the long-term direction is bullish. We're not okay on the NQ. The NQ's got an arrow right there. Now that is it's because of where it happened. It's way down here at the bottom like this. It's not anywhere near the ribbon. That's not one of the higher probability arrows, but it is an arrow nonetheless. Hang on, I'm trying to put the thing on. Here it is. Okay, so here I just put it on. Okay, it's got to go 8 ticks into profit there. 8 ticks into profit to bump the stop to break even, and it just took me out of break even. Okay. And I believe I just messed up my NQ down. Hold on. There. So I ended up with a break even on that one. Now, did you guys have any questions? Anybody that's in here? Hang on a second. I'll go look at the live stream. I haven't looked at the box of the live stream in a minute. It is now 1:17, so we have 13 minutes left. But go back over here. BTC USD. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do it over here on gold right now. I'll do it on the gold chart. Okay. BTC USD crypto. This one right here. You want to do this one right here on Coinbase. Just choose that one, I guess. You can't do that on the 7 range for sure. And with something trading that high, you gotta do it like a 500 or 1,000 range. Okay, so you see that gave a long right back here, and it's pulling back. I would look for that to pull all the way back here. But you can see it gave a couple of long opportunities, one here and one here, a few minutes ago. But I would look for it to pull back down here. Okay, so the BTC USD gave a long at 24. It's about to give a long right now. Right there is a long. Okay, so it's long right here. BTC USD is long 24,723. Right down BTC USD long 20. What did I say that was? Oh, that just would have stopped you out completely. It was long at 24,723. 24,723. Stopped. If you had a stop on it. The last one though that it gave was from back here. Okay, it was from 24,709, and that ran from 24,709 all the way up to 24,736. And what I would have been expecting out of that was a run to right here at 24,723. Okay, this right here is not giving us anything. You can't do anything with that right now. And so now we wait a couple of minutes here and see what this does. All right, it's really volatile, so it might really give you something else. Let's look at this on larger time frame. Maybe $5 a bar might be $10 a bar. That's what we should be looking at with Bitcoin getting 24,000. Maybe $10 bars is a little better to look at. That would give me a long right here, 24,711. Now you're probably asking where your stop should be on this, right? If you have a 1,000 range bar, I would think probably 1250 is where your stop would be. Okay, probably 1250. So it would be $12.50 per bar. I mean, $12.50 stop is what you'd have on that. All right, so if it pulls back down here, it's the ribbon again. I'll be looking for it to get long again right in there. So we'll leave that. We'll trade these other markets while we wait for that. Okay. I don't know what market is that right there. That is that one. All right. So here it is right now. Okay. So when up close on this bar, it's got a low right here at 716. It's got a high of 816. So the up close, right, is 1,000 range bars, right? So okay, sorry. All right. So this closed down instead of up. So it's got a down here 4,700. So 5,700, right? Oh, that's not right. 1,000 range bars. Well, anyway, an up close on this bar right now would be okay to trade. Right there is okay to trade. Right there, 723. Okay, so now 723, 24,723 long, and look for that to get up here. It's 24,749. Okay, 24,720. Okay, BTC USD long 24,723 to 24,749. Okay, so it's funny we had a 24,723 longs on 2 different time frames, but you see how that one worked out right there. Now you didn't get the arrow on that because this did not get oversold, but you see it's still going right here. So if I was in it, I'd be trying my stop right now. But you see how that works, right, Rito? And with Ash, the Tesla thing, I didn't go back and look at the Tesla. Let's take a quick look at Tesla. Stocks. Look at Tesla again. We're going to look at that back here on a 100 range. Do we look at it on 100 or 50? What did I say about Tesla earlier? I don't remember what I said. I said it needs to pull back, right? This is on the 100. and this is on the 50, and it did pull back. So Tesla's got a long from right here, from 184.99, and that should run up to 185.81. Okay, so I said look for a pullback. 187, look for a pullback. This is the pullback. So now move to 187.61 is what I said a few minutes ago. So you'd still be looking for that same move. This is the pullback though. So right now, Tesla goes back to a long at 185. Look for 185.81 to begin, and then further targets. Okay, that's what Tesla looks like. So if we go back here to the Bitcoin, what was that symbol? BTC USD. And we'll go back to crypto, and we're doing the Coinbase one. Okay, we're doing that on a 1,000 range. Okay, so what did we say a few minutes ago? On 24,723. 24,723. So here it is. It's still working on that. 24,723, and looking for it to get up here. It's 24,789. Okay, so it's still working. All right. Now this has gotten up here into the overbought area right here. So at that little move down and back up right there is a bullish move. Believe it or not, that is a very bullish move. So we'll see if it makes it the rest of the way up. The fact that it's right up at the top kind of stinks because it can't go any higher than 100. But all right, back here on the Dow right now, there was a long here on the Dow. I haven't traded anything here on the futures since I've been looking at these other things. And right now on the futures, we are plus 19 on the YM and plus 14 on the NQ. Okay, plus 19 on the YM and plus 14 on the NQ. Now the NQ, speaking of that, has a long-term trend is bullish. The ES, the long-term trend is bearish. The YM, the long-term trend is bullish. So this is pulled all the way back down here now. So if I were trading this, I would have locked in some profit on this move up, and I'd be getting ready to go long again right now on the Bitcoin. Okay, on an up close, I'd be getting ready to go long on an up close right now. Until this gets down below here and the green right here. See, this is oversold right now. So if the black line gets into the red, then I wouldn't be thinking long anymore. But until that black line gets into the red, like right there, that's another long. Right there is what I'd be thinking. 24,762 right there. And it should move up. The problem with it is that this one did not put in higher swing. So just like on futures, the same rules apply. You know, any move that does not continue the trend, like this one right here, this move did not continue the trend. So any move after that is suspect. So this one right here, you had a chance to take some profit, did not continue the trend. So the trend could be ending right here. You could be seeing weakness right now. Okay, that's for everybody that's in there on the in the live stream. It's for everybody, for everybody that's watching. It's the same thing with futures. The same exact thing with futures. You know, if you keep moving the trend up, you kind of keep taking trades in the trend, right? Always the same thing. The market's always doing the same thing. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And when it gets into this spot right here, where it goes up and it doesn't exceed the swing high, that's what we had right here. Then everything after that is suspect. Okay, until it does actually exceed that swing high and continue the trend. So that's where this is right now. All right. The YM's got a trade right here. I just jumped on. Hold on. And bring that over. There you go. YM stopped to break even on that. And that was just a ribbon trade on the YM. It wasn't an arrow trade. I ended up getting a break even overall. But here, let me hit all drawings. But you see why that is in there, right? And that is on, this is on crypto, but it's the same thing on everything. This move right here, where we suggested it should go from here up to here, should have gone up to there. It did go some into profit, but it didn't go all the way into profit. So you're still waiting for it to finish that move. If it doesn't finish that move, like you'd be out of the trade right here and you wouldn't be doing it again. Okay, let me write this break-even trade down over here on this thing. Oops, that's the wrong thing. It's this one. this break-even trade right here on the YM. Okay, it's 127. Wow, this session flew by. I don't have a lot to say. I mean, to show for this session compared to the other sessions. But here it goes, guys. This is what we're looking for, right? Oops, I didn't do that. This is what we're looking for over here on the crypto. We want to see it get up above here and then above here, continue that trend. Okay, that's what you want to see. It'd be nice to have one good trade here on something on the NQ or something. I don't even know where my NQ down is right now. Hang on. It's ES down, that's YM down, that's gold down. Where did the NQ down go? I seem to have misplaced it. Go to the indices and I can do one. And here it is. There's my NQ down. Hey, look at that. I'm long on the NQ. Who knew? All right. We'll do +8 on that. All right. Well, that was an actual trade, so it's okay to take that one. That was right here. That was a blue one. Watch the YM here. The YM on an up close would be a trade. That's a blue one. See, it failed to put in that higher swing there, and so it's going to fail altogether. All this action right here that you're seeing, it was in Q. That was 12 on the NQ, right? That I just got on that last thing. Was it 12 or was it 8? It didn't put in a higher swing, so this is questionable. Whatever it does right here is going to be questionable. But over here, see, all the stuff that I was saying right here on the Bitcoin is the same thing that's happening here on the NQ right now. Right? As long as you get in higher swings, you want to keep taking the trades. But when you don't, you don't. And I'll draw it out for you one more time. I'll draw it on both of them. So right here we had up, down, up, down, up. That was a little bit higher, down. So you take that, up, did not exceed. Now it's back down, and now this is where it's stuck in, right in here. All right, and over here on this, let me drag it out a little for you, and I'll show you over here on this. It's 1:30, so I'm not going to take any more trades right now, and I don't have anything on, but it was the same thing over here. You had up, then down, then up, then down, then up. That's what we wanted to get up to, right? So it went up, and it failed to get there, then it came down, did not exceed that until right now, right? It went up, so you're in all that junk right in here until right now. Now it's exceeded that, so now the ribbon is right here. Long-term duration is bearish. It's pulling back up right now, and what do you expect? Down, right? It's changed directions. That's what you're looking for, right? So that's what the indicators are telling you. That's how the markets always work, and the indicators are just there to help you along and find precise entry points. All right. So, yeah, let me slide this back over. And the long-term direction here on the Bitcoin is bearish right now. It's a little bit bearish. And if this were to close down without getting the black into the green right there and pull that out, then you would have a trade, but you're not going to have any trade here. It's just more chop. It just extended this chop a little bit right now. All these markets right now are pretty choppy. So that looks like it's going to be it. So today, we did not have a whole bunch of gains in here. We're plus 26 on the NQ, plus 19 on the YM. So compared to how we have been doing, but I showed a lot of stuff here on these other things. So I took some time to do that today. Let's take one more quick look at Tesla. Okay, I'm guessing that Tesla probably dropped. Well, let's look at it not on 1,000 range. Let's look at it on 100 range. Okay, so we're looking for the pullback on Tesla. It gave this arrow right here, gave a little bit of move on that, but I was looking for the pullback right in here. And we'll drop here to the 50 range, look at it one more time there, and see if it gave you anything. It did. It gave you a push off right here on the 50. Okay, so in the time that we've been talking, this was the only trade right here on Tesla. It's pushing, it's acting like it should push from right here from 85 up to 85, 81. Isn't that what I said earlier? Tesla. Along back there. Tesla pulled back to along at 85. Look, we're get up to 85, 81. So we're still looking for that. So from 85, 81, it's only gone, from 85, it's only gone up to 85, 25 so far. All right. So everything's really flat right now. I'm going to wrap up the live stream. All right. For everyone who's in here who's on the live stream, if you want to take a free trial with us, go to mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial there. And everyone who is not, who's in any of the other things, you all know how to get to it. Go to mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial. With the free trial, you get access to one-on-one training, you get access to the live training room, you get access to the indicators, you get access to all kinds of stuff. If you want to take the free trial, it really is free. If you are following us in the live chat with TradingView, and you don't follow us in TradingView, however you do that follow thing in TradingView, you might want to just click on the follow button so you're alerted every time we do one of these things. All right, that's it, guys. With that, I'm going to end the live stream. That is ended. Okay, Dwayne, now I can pass it back up to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. And here it comes. Almost there.
All right.
There it is. There it is. All right. Good.
Okay, from the morning session, recap of the recap.
Today, 12 minutes, 2 trades, $300.
Good job.
Thank you.
Reminder, tonight is the members only workshop. And if you want to be in the members only workshop, obviously you need to be a member. So to become a lifetime member, no recurring fees, no upsells, no new shiny objects to buy from us ever. Just go here, eminifuturestrading.com. Couple mouse clicks, become a lifetime member. Valerie will take care of sending you everything you need, including an invitation to tonight's members only workshop. And we'll wrap this session up with a good word for the day. Today we're going to talk about steps to overcoming your worries. Job 42:2. I know that you can do all things. It's Job, who had a lot of troubles, but he never lost his faith in God. Job lost his wealth, his health, and his children. The book he wrote is a conversation between himself and God. At the beginning of it, Job says, "Hear now my reasoning." He is asking, why has all this happened to me? At this point, he is totally self-focused. But by the middle of the book of Job, Job has grown spiritually. And now he takes a different approach. Instead of reasoning, he decides to stand on God's word. Job 23:10-12 reads, "But he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I shall come forth as gold. My feet have closely followed his steps. I have kept to his way without turning aside. I have not departed from the commands of his lips. I have treasured the words of his mouth more than my daily bread." By the last chapter of the book of Job, Job has decided to trust God completely. He writes, "I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you." It's Job 42:2-5. Job has finally arrived at the place where he can say, I trust God. There is no need to worry. After 9 months of worrying, questioning, and reasoning, he decides he doesn't need answers to all his questions. He only needs to know that God cares for him. And his story ends in these words. The Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. There you have it. steps to overcoming whatever you're worrying about. And remember, Paul wrote, worry about nothing, pray about everything. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.